So let's first look at the implementation of the default constructor. And so this is going to appear just below the class definition. And this is going to be a little abstract, but what does the default constructor need to do? Now, we need to implement one so that if we pass these grades into a method, we don't get a syntax error. So syntactically it needs to be there, but functionally what does it need to do? Think about what the default constructor of the vector does, right? So what happens in main, for example, we're going to declare an object of the grades class. And when we do that out in memory, right, here's memory, we're going to get a grades object. And because, whoops, okay, so there are two grades here. There is the grades object, and then there is the vector of grades. So don't get confused by the name. I'll try to draw it in a way that it's clear here. As part of the grades object of this class, you're getting a vector of integers called grades. So in this object, it's called grades, right? And at that point, C++ executes, or the program executes the default constructor of the vector class. Well, what does it do? It initializes it to an empty vector. And we have no grades. So the default constructor of the vector class already does everything that our default constructor needs to do. So there is no code for the default constructor. So we can actually just write this as a default constructor with an empty body. Okay, because there's nothing for this constructor to do, because the default constructor of the vector class already does the correct thing. And this could be true if this were a string or some other class object. So don't be bothered by the fact that you've implemented a method that does nothing or a constructor that does nothing. This is perfectly fine.